In the silent stillness of dawn, a veil of mist wraps around an ancient forest. Sunlight filters through towering pines, illuminating a weathered stone at its heart. Etched upon its surface are strange symbols, letters from a forgotten script. These are runes, marks not just made to be read, but to be felt. The word rune itself is an old word, meaning secret or mystery, a whisper from the past beckoning us to listen. From the windswept fjords of Scandinavia to the misty moors of Britain, these symbols have left their mark. Each rune carved into stone or wood carries a tale, a memorial to a fallen warrior, a prayer for protection, an invocation of destiny. They were more than simple writing. Many believed they held magic and power. In these silent carvings lived the hopes, fears, and secrets of peoples long gone, waiting patiently to speak once more. For centuries, runes lay dormant beneath moss and lichen, their meanings obscured by time and conquest, yet their allure never faded. Tales of hidden runic treasures, legendary spells, and ancient wisdom kept their memory alive. Today, scholars with magnifying glasses and dreamers with ancient texts both feel the same thrill of discovery as they find a fresh fragment of this old language. Our journey begins with the intrigue of these symbols. What drew ancient peoples to carve runes into stone? How did a simple alphabet become a tapestry of myth and meaning? In this narrative, we will step back through time. We will trace the origins and evolution of runes, decode the sounds and shapes of their characters, and finally unveil the hidden messages that they carry. Welcome, traveler, to the story of the hidden language of ancient runes. Our story moves forward in time. The earliest runic symbols trace back to the 1st centuries AD, appearing in stone and bone across northern Europe. By around 150 AD, the runic alphabet was taking shape. Scholars call the earliest complete runic alphabet the Elder Futhark, named for its first 6 letters, F, U, those, A, R, K. It contained 24 characters, each carved from straight lines, ideal for engraving wood or stone. Over the next centuries, as Germanic tribes spread and evolved, so did the runes they wrote. As languages changed and cultures intertwined, runes adapted too. In England, the Anglo-Saxon peoples expanded the alphabet into the footwork, adding letters to fit their tongue. In Scandinavia during the Viking Age, the Elder Futhark gradually transformed into the Younger Futhark, a stripped-down alphabet of just 16 runes. Though simplified, each rune still carried meaning and power. Across Europe, the angular script remained a legacy of carving on wood and stone even as kingdoms and faiths changed. Imagine a Viking ship gliding into harbor, its prow carved with runes invoking protection from the sea. Picture an Anglo-Saxon monk in a dim scriptorium, scratching runes onto wood and metal to bless a newborn child. As old faiths mingled with new, the alphabet followed these people. Each era brought change. Some runes merged or disappeared, and new ones arose. Even as Norse paganism gave way to Christianity, runes did not vanish at once. They lingered in churchyards and on charms, at once a bridge between worlds, the pagan past and the Christian present. The evolution of runes is also a tale of treasures and riddles. Many runic inscriptions and meanings have faded with time, known to us only through rare stones and manuscripts. Yet some remarkable artifacts survive. The Roke runestone in Sweden from the 9th century bears the longest known runic inscription, laced with poetic riddles. In England, the Franks casket tells a tale in a mosaic of images and Anglo-Saxon runes. Such objects remind us that runes were once a living script, evolving with the people who used them. For centuries, runes lay silent and unread. Their meaning faded, like voices swallowed by time. In dark libraries and museum halls, dusty stones awaited someone to reveal their tale. When scholars first turned their eyes to the runes, they faced an alphabet without modern parallels. There were no guides and few clues. It was as if each carving were a puzzle, each stone an ancient crossword awaiting its solution. The breakthrough came slowly. In the 17th and 18th centuries, antiquarians began to decode the first messages. They noticed that many rune carvings were memorials with familiar patterns, names of people or dates. By matching known names from sagas and inscriptions, they could assign sounds to symbols. In 1865, the Danish scholar Sophus Bugge announced that runes could be understood by comparing them to related languages and later alphabets. This was the Rosetta Stone moment for runes, opening a window into the past. Suddenly, those silent stones spoke again. Yet decoding was more art than science. Runes vary in shape and usage from one place and era to another. A letter carved on a 2nd century comb might look different than a rune on a 10th century cross. Some inscriptions use secret forms or decorations that puzzle even experts today. Scholars wrote dictionaries of rune words and compiled the Viking rune poems, which give poetic hints of each symbol's meaning. Step by step, the alphabet revealed itself, and layers of meaning emerged from ancient inscriptions. Each deciphered inscription is like opening a time capsule. On stones erected long ago, we read the mournful elegy of a Norse king, or the playful message of a young woman bragging about her sewing skills. We uncover glimpses of everyday life and great sagas, names of heroes, tales of voyages, even curses carved in anger. The act of decoding runes is a form of resurrection, bringing lost voices back to life, one letter at a time. We've learned how to read runes, but what secrets do they reveal? To ancient ears, runes were more than a script. They were a language woven into the fabric of the world. Each rune is a symbol, a distilled idea. Take Fehu, for example. It stands for wealth and cattle, symbols of life and prosperity. Hurisaz is power and danger, embodying the raw force of nature. Algiz is protection, the shield that stands between the living and the unknown. Every curve and angle of the runes carries a connection to the natural and spiritual realms. Legend says that Odin himself discovered the runes. In a mythic sacrifice, he hung from the world tree for 9 nights, wounded by his own spear, to gain the knowledge of these marks. When at last the runes appeared to him, he returned to the world carrying secrets of fate and power. This story highlights how runes were seen, not just letters, but sacred gifts that opened doors between worlds. To carve a rune was to tap into ancient energies. Indeed, in historical texts, runes appear in magical spells and rituals. Runic inscriptions protected warriors in battle or guarded a new home. Rune masters and shamans would arrange symbols in bind runes, interlocking designs, said to amplify their power. Runestone inscriptions sometimes end with the phrase "rune right," a formula meant to seal the magic of the inscription. In Viking graves, runes accompany the dead, perhaps guiding them to the next realm. The hidden language of runes is as much about what is not said as what is written. Some runes and staves appear cryptic, intended only for those initiated into their mysteries. Just as a melody can evoke emotion without words, so too can runes evoke meaning beyond literal speech. They whisper of courage, change, destiny concepts woven into each sharp line. By studying them, we not only translate the letters, but also learn the mindset of an age when the world was alive with spirits and stories. Though thousands of years old, the language of runes has not vanished. Today, these symbols find new life in art, jewelry, and even tattoos. They adorn posters, book covers, and digital fonts, a sign of our continued fascination. For some, writing a name or phrase in runes is a way to connect to ancestry or infuse words with deeper meaning. Modern enthusiasts study runes in memoirs, workshops, and online communities, sharing stories of how these ancient marks speak to the heart. Others use runes for divination and meditation. Like drawing tarot, a person might draw runes from a pouch, each symbol offering guidance or reflection. Runes can be carved on candles or stones to focus, intent, or simply contemplated as a mantra. The power comes not from magic alone, but from the intent and attention we bring. In a quiet moment, gazing at the symbol of algiz might foster a sense of protection. Channeling Ansus could spark inspiration and insight. Ultimately, the power of runes is symbolic and personal. They remind us that language is alive and that symbols can bridge time. Engaging with runes is an act of curiosity, a nod to the wisdom of ancient wordsmiths. Whether you see them as mystical relics or artistic expressions, runes encourage us to consider deeper stories. Each time we trace their lines, we participate in a ritual as old as memory itself. As our journey ends, imagine placing one stone in your hand, feeling its weight and the carving etched upon it. What might it whisper to you? The ancient language of the runes is no longer lost. It lives on in museums and in minds, in art and in tradition. Perhaps in your own life, if you choose to listen, you'll discover the story that the runes hold for you. This is the magic of these ancient symbols, that a language of the past can inspire the dreams of the present. Thanks for watching. See you next time.